Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me today is Jaime Johns. Jaime founded Sky Accountants in 2003. Sky Accountants has received several awards over the years, including the 2017 Panalitix Accounting Business of the Year Award. Jaime received the Institute of Public Accountants 2017 Australian Member of the Year and the IPA's 2016 Victoria Practice of the Year. Sky Accountants is also included in the top 57 accounting firms worldwide in the book The World's Most Inspiring Accountants by UK journalist Steve Pipe. These days, Jaime oversees the growth of Sky's group, various businesses, and mentors selected clientele. Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, Jaime Johns.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ed. It's great to be here today.
So first off, Jaime, why do you do what you do?
Good question. Sometimes I ask myself that. Look, I love helping people, Ed. I was born a people person and not sure why I became an accountant. But yeah, my core why is just to give back to people. And look, I suppose in life, I think I found a pot of gold, and I like to share that pot of gold with everyone else that I come across, and particularly accountants and bookkeepers.
And to that end, you've just released a new practice acceleration program. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. Yeah, look, it's been a long journey, but I'll cut the long journey short. In a nutshell, for many years, I struggled in my own accounting firm to really achieve what I wanted to do with the accounting firm, and that was freedom. I went into business to have some more time. I had 4 kids and a wife, and I ended up the opposite. I ended up a slave to my accounting practice to the point where it put me in hospital. I ended up in hospital for 2 or 3 days simply from stress. They couldn't work out what the problem was, but they did in the end. So essentially, that long journey accumulated to finding, after $500,000 I spent in finding coaches and different people and the wrong people. But yeah, essentially found the right mentor. And strangely enough, his name was Ed Chan. And Ed mentored me for about 5 years. And then after that, we downloaded everything that I knew, everything that Ed knew, and another chap called Brenton Ward as well. And we put it into an acceleration scaling up program for accountants and bookkeepers, which is, we've got about 200 members from about 30 countries now, Ed. And it helps accountants and bookkeepers get their life back. And we teach them how to get their firms to run without them. That's what we do.
And what are some of the key takeaways from your program that help accountants make that transition?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's really mindset. You've got to be a point where enough is enough, and you think that my career, my business, my life can be better at it, better than it is, because as we know, I'm already working with CPA accountants in America, Texas have included, and essentially, you've got to have a change in mindset. You've got to believe that you can get your firm to run without you, which is absolutely possible. So mindset's the first thing. But the other thing, Ed, is really you've got to know the how. Everyone I talk to, I say, look, if you're going to go on a journey to the Antarctica and take your team, you've got to have a map. You've got to have a blueprint. The first thing is to know how to do it, Ed. I learned from my mentor, and now we're giving back and we're teaching everyone else how to do it. And with the beauty of the internet, we can do that worldwide. So the first point is really the how. Yeah.
And talk to me a little about what your program encompasses. You say you have customers all the way over here in Texas. Is it an online system? Is it self-paced? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So look, we basically have 2 platforms. We have a do-it-yourself online, the acceleration program. We call that Wise Pulse, and that's just simply 18 steps. It's 18 steps to scale your firm, to get your firm to run without you. Each step has a number of mini steps and videos and templates and tools that you can follow, and it's self-paced. And then we do have a higher level program. Obviously, that costs more. That's called Wise Growth, and that's where we set up one-on-one mentoring with each firm owner. And essentially, in a nutshell, we have a monthly board meeting, and we teach people how to be accountable. We have a monthly board meeting. We have a whole lot of other education and master classes and pit stop workshops that help firm owners just essentially educate them how to be leaders and how to get their firm to run without them and give them a passive income.
What are the top 2 or 3 barriers that you see that people run into when they're trying to really have their firm run without them, so to speak? What are those things that get in the way?
Yeah, that's easy. There's not normally 3, Ed. The very first one is yourself. You've got to get out of your own way. So the first one's leadership. You've got to be able to lead yourself first, and then lead others. The second one is you've got to hire the right people. A lot of firms that they just hire people and throw bodies at the problem. We're very strategic in our hiring. We have what we call the Wise Ideal Team. So that's the second one. You've got to have the right people, but you've got to have them in the right seat, as Jim Collins said. And the third one is systematization. What you want to do is build a firm with extraordinary systems so that you can hire ordinary people. I'm just an ordinary country guy from Australia. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So they're the 3 barriers.
And Jamie, we have an exit question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero?
Yeah, that's easy. Well, I must mention my wife. She's my first hero. She's helped me bring up 4 kids. But other than my wife, it'd be my mentor, and that's Ed Chan. Ed. When I found Ed, I'd been through a lot of coaches and a lot of mentors, and as I said, I spent $500,000 on this journey. And Ed just changed my life. I got my firm to run without me and provide me with a passive income, and then I started another business, which was Wise Mentoring. And Ed Chan's my hero for sure. And if he's listening to this, I hope he doesn't get a big head, but that's the truth.
All right. And lastly, Jamie, how can somebody contact you?
Yeah, just reach out to me at jamie@wisementoring.com. And that's WIZE. I say that. So even if you just, you can just Google Wise Mentoring, WIZE, mentoring.com. And we'll be all over the internet there, and you can find us easy. And you can take a trial of our program. You can interact with us. It's exciting, and it's great to be able to give this resource to firms worldwide. That there's accountants and bookkeepers worldwide. I've had discussions with people from 30 countries, Ed. So it's amazing.
All right. Well, we also put a link to an offer that your firm has out for accountants at wisementoring.com/pulse2021. Jamie, thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Yeah, no worries, Ed. Thanks very much for having me today. And all the best to everyone out there.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.